Hello everyone, this is Mahesh and today I'm going to read you a Chandamama story. This story is from July 1955 issue of Chandamama. Shiva and Madhava. In the city of Ratnapur, there were two young friends called Shiva and Madhava. They had heard that king of Ujjain had a Purohit called Shankara Swami who amassed a lot of wealth and concealed it underground. They wanted to get it. Shiva arrived in Ujjain first, disguised as a Brahmin bachelor. He entered a mutt on the banks of the Shipra. His entire property consisted of a begging bowl and a deer skin. Shiva would smear his whole body with mud, bathe in the river, and stand on his head for a while facing the sun. Then he would go to the temple of Lord Shiva and worship the god with pure white flowers. Past noon, he would bake food at the three doors, divide it into three equal parts, and throw one part to the birds, give one part to the hungry, and eat the third part himself. In short, Shiva was living up to the ideal of a pious Brahmin bachelor mendicant. And people said, "Oh, what a great man! How pure he is!" After a few days, Madhava too entered Ujjain. He was dressed like a rich prince, with a retinue and caskets of wealth. He acquired suitable lodgings and went for a bath in the Shipra. There he saw Shiva standing on his head, with his eyes closed in penance. At once Madhava prostrated himself before Shiva, exclaiming, "How fortunate that I should meet you again, holy man!" By this Shiva knew that Madhava had arrived, but he did not even open his eyes. That night, Shiva and Madhava met secretly and had a good time eating and drinking. They also made plans to rob the king's Purohit of his secret wealth. Next day, Madhava went to the Purohit with a gift of fine clothes and told him, "Sir, I am Prince Madhava by name. I come from the south. I have been swindled by people of my own clan and come to spend my days in this distant place. I lack no wealth, but my attendants insist that I get engaged as a courtier. I know you are the best man to help me in this matter. I can repay you in several ways." The king's Purohit, Shankara Swami, was a covetous fellow. It was said that if he had half share in every gift of the king had made to anyone during several years, he had filled his wealth in 7 pots which he buried in his backyard. Shankara Swami easily managed to get Madhava employed in the king's court. He also suggested that Madhava should reside in his own house and get all amenities and comforts. Now Madhava was comfortably lodged in Shankara Swami's house. Every day he would attend the court and come home. In the evenings, he would take out a jewel or two out of a full jug and show the huge diamonds and other precious stones to Shankar Swami. After some days, Madhava began complaining that he had dyspepsia and stopped taking any food. In a few days, he became emaciated due to starvation and took to bed. One day he called the Purohit and told him, "Dear sir, I am going to die. I want to give away all my wealth to a holy man. Kindly find a proper man and bring him to me." The Purohit brought several Brahmins, but Madhava turned all of them down, saying, "For heaven's sake, can't you find a better man?" At last, some of the neighbors advised the Purohit to find out the holy bachelor who was residing at the mutt. The Purohit found Shiva and requested him, "Sir, come along and accept the gift of some precious stones from a dying man." Shiva laughed and said, "I am a bachelor. What am I to do with precious stones? Go and find some family man who will enjoy the gift." "No, no, don't say that. The dying man wants someone like you. You need not be a bachelor all of your life. Take this gift, marry, and be happy," said the Purohit. I am a stranger here. No one will give his daughter in marriage to me, so please leave me alone, said Shiva. I will give you my daughter. Only come at once and take the gift. That man is at death's door, said the Purohit. Shiva followed the Purohit to his house and took the gift of the precious jug, saying, I do not know what this jug contains. I am taking it only for the satisfaction of the dying man. But the man did not die. As by magic, Madhava began to feel better and better. Slowly he began to take nourishment and within a few days was restored to complete health. There is not the least doubt that the gift I made to the holy man has washed away all my sins and saved me from the jaws of death. Madhava announced to everyone. The Purohit kept his word and gave Shiva his daughter in marriage. Soon after, Madhava found separate lodging for himself. Shiva took his place and enjoyed the hospitality that was due to him as a son in law. One day, Shiva told his father in law, I have lived long enough under your roof. It is time that I set up my own home with my wife. What all I have is the gift I received from Madhava. As I can't live by gold and precious stones, I wish that you take it and give me money in exchange. The father in law said, My boy, we cannot assess the value of all those gems so easily. Shiva replied, I don't care for the value of the gift. It was you who had it given to me, and it is you I want to give it to. Give me as much money as you have, and I shall be satisfied. Shankara Swami dug up the wealth he had buried in the backyard and transferred it to his son in law. He was afraid that his son in law might go back upon his word, so he executed letters of sale and got them properly signed and attested. With this money, Shiva set up house and gave half of it to Madhava as was originally arranged between them. After a time, the Purohit picked out one jewel from the jug and took it to a diamond merchant to find its value. He had a shock when the merchant exclaimed it briefly and returned it, saying, This is fake. These are bits of cheap glass studded in brass. The Purohit sent the entire contents of the jar for examination and was told that there was neither a grain of gold nor a single precious stone in the entire lot. He had been thoroughly swindled. In a great rage, the Purohit went to his son in law and demanded, Give me back all my money. I gave it away for a pot full of brass and glass. Shiva got wild. How dare you to say me that to now? I was leading a pious life until you made me give it up, got me this fraudulent gift, and put me to the yoke of family life. The deal is legally closed between us. If you sustain the loss, go and ask Madhava for explanation, he shouted at his father in law. In utter anguish, the Purohit ran to Madhava and charged him with cheating. Madhava retorted by calling him a fool. He said, That jug was in our possession for ages and ages. When I was face to face with death, I gifted it away to a pious man. As a result of that, I got back my wealth. What is my crime? Did I try to sell the stuff to someone at a false price? Did you give me a pie of the sale money? Why blame me like a fool? Now it was clear to the Purohit that nobody was to blame except himself. It was his own avarice that brought him this disaster.